This is Beer in Front, part of the Odd Pods Media Network. Sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet. I'll talk about some old school beers that maybe you've forgotten about, some new beers that have the potential to be a classic. I'll also talk to various people around the beer world and get their stories all about beer. That's Beer in Front, and it's coming up now. Welcome to the January 22nd edition, episode 194 of Beer in Front. I'm your host, Dave Zalatoris, and Beer in Front is a proud Odd Pods Media Network member. Along with some big beer news, I'll have some new non-alcoholic offerings from Alesmith out of San Diego on the show. Both of those were fantastic. In the near future, I'll be talking with Rock Solid Brewing out of Georgia and Momentum Brewing out of New York. In addition to that, shows on the Birmingham area, Chicago Tavern Week, kombucha, and others are in the works. In beverage news, New Jersey has finally passed a law that will make things a lot easier for breweries in the state to operate. Breweries will now be able to host unlimited events in the tap room, have food trucks, and have NA beverages. Also, they can now brew up to 300,000 barrels annually, up from 10,000. So that's big news for breweries in the state of New Jersey. The alcohol delivery service Drizzly will cease operations in March. Uber purchased the company in 2021 for $1.1 billion and will now focus on Uber Eats. If you could afford $1 billion, you could pay your drivers more. Last Tuesday, the IP assets for Metropolitan Brewing went on auction, and it was sold for $112,000, which includes the branding and recipes. There's no word yet on the buyer, but hopefully Metro Beers will live again. Saturday, March 2nd, Samuel Adams is having a festival celebrating their 40th anniversary and will bring back some throwback beers. I'm hoping they bring back Boston Ale. I was a huge Boston Ale fan when that came out. If you ever found it on tap, it was even better, so hopefully Boston Ale makes a comeback. Of all the seltzer products that are out there, the Simply Lemonade line has been my favorite. This is put out by Molson Coors, and they just released a new limeade version that should be out everywhere. They have a cherry limeade, bunch of different flavors, so I'm really looking forward to that. Big limeade fan, and I'll have a review up of that sometime next month. Mortal Kombucha, based in Boulder, Colorado, is releasing its products now in 16-ounce resealable aluminum bottles. They are the first kombucha company to do so. I'm hoping to have the founder of Mortal on the show soon, and we're going to talk kombucha. Finally, Eris Brewery and Cider House on Irving Park in Chicago. They're celebrating their 6th birthday on Friday, February 2nd. They'll have things going on between noon and 11 p.m. They're going to have a birthday cake, a special release cider. So head over to Eris's website to find out details on their 6th birthday.
I'm Richie, a.k.a. Midnight Agent Raw.
I'm Devin, aka Special Delivery Dev.
We're the Super Media Bros podcast. And each week, we give a comedically informative take on movies,
Music,
television,
pro wrestling,
and much more. Check us out at supermediabrospodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else that you can listen to podcasts. Shades on.
We're off.
Be sure to catch the latest from Super Media Bros wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, the beer that's in front of me now is from Alesmith. This is their non-alcoholic Speedway Stout. I grabbed this a week or so ago at my bottle shop, and I'm like, oh, okay, I like Speedway, so let's try the NA version since I'm doing dry January. And oh my God, this is absolutely fantastic. So I made sure I saved a couple more cans because I wanted to talk about it online. They also have an IPA, which I did not see, so I'm going to have to look for that as well. But no joke, this Speedway Stout is excellent. So let's crack it open. The non-alcoholic Speedway Stout is a really beautiful foam. Nice head on here. Good, maybe 3 fingers of foam. Smells great. You get the malt. You get like coffee notes in there, chocolate notes. It just smells fantastic. And it's so good. You get all of those flavors. The malt, the chocolate, the coffee in here. It all tastes great. Nice mouthfeel. It doesn't taste thin at all. It tastes like a regular stout. Now, this is non-alcoholic, so there is less than 0.5 ABV. I just think this is fantastic. Like, this is something come February. I know there's a lot of them from Go Brewing that I like that I talked about before. There's a few others, like the Sierra Nevada I would probably grab now and then. But every time I see this from Alesmith, I'm definitely putting this one in the cart. If you want to cut back on your alcohol, or if you just want a nice tasting beverage that doesn't have any booze in it, if you're looking for a stout, this is fantastic. So if you see the Speedway non-alcoholic craft beer, I would definitely put this one in the cart. It is fantastic. All right, I enjoyed the Speedway so much from Alesmith. I went out and found the non-alcoholic IPA, so I'm going to have that one right now. It doesn't list the hops that they use, but according to the website, it has a nice citrusy overtone to this. So what's not to like? 75 calories. Let's crack open the Alesmith non-alcoholic IPA. Their IPA looks good, nice, clear. It's not a hazy. It's definitely more West Coast looking. Good foam on it. Smells good. I do get that tangerine out of the aroma. No, it smells really good. Not bad. I like it. Now, it has a nice, like, malty notes to it, too, before the hops hit you. So, I mean, I think it tastes good. It's got that nice, like, bread-like, malt-like notes, and then the hops hit you at the end. So, I think this is pretty good. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it. It doesn't taste thin at all. I'm a big fan. So, I've always liked the stuff from Alesmith. When I've been to San Diego a couple times, I made sure I had to stop there. So I do enjoy their stuff. But if you're looking for some non-alcoholic options out there, the IPA, fantastic. The Speedway Stout, absolutely killer. So you got to put both of those in your cart. I'm still going strong with dry January. Ruby has noticed that I'm hardly snoring, if at all now. I'm having a beer on February 1st, and I'll post that video. If you have any suggestions on what I should have, let me know. After a month off, I should probably go light and not have some barrel-aged behemoth. The back is not getting any better. The problem is the L4 and the L5 discs, which is where the majority of my daily pain is. I see the pain specialist on Wednesday, and we'll see if I'm going to need another epidural injection or surgery. Been going to physical therapy since September, and while I think the world of my therapists, the progress has been minimal, so I don't know what's going to happen with that. But I've been living on Tylenol and Advil with shots of Pepto for my stomach, but This shit's gotta end soon. I thank you for listening to Beer in Front this week. If you haven't already, please leave a 5-star review on the podcast, wherever you're listening, whatever platform. If you could leave a 5-star review, that would help out a lot. It helps with the algorithm and gets more folks to see it. Also, check out Beer in Front on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I put out quick videos a few times a week in addition to the podcast. I want to thank the people who support the show over on Patreon. If you'd like to be in the Cool Kids Club, head over to patreon.com/beerinfront. Have a great week. I'll talk to you next Monday. And remember, sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet.